Hey guys, my name's Gloria and welcome back to my channel. Today I just have a quick but bountiful book haul for you. I have some vintage books, I have some brand new books, and I also have a couple of stationery notebooks as well because I just can't be stopped. You can't stop me. Money burns a hole right through my pocket. It's like acid. It's terrible. So let's get into the book haul. But first, if you would like to help me, I would like to know which video you would like to see next. So you can have a reading vlog of either Junji Ito, Grady Hendrix or James Herbert, or you could have a writerly informative video or a booktube informative video. I can't decide what I want to do next, so if anyone has any opinions or if you just want to pick a random one for me, I'd be very grateful to help me make that decision. Now on to the books. The first two I want to talk about I got in a charity shop that's right near my work. I hadn't spent any money on lunch that day and I genuinely just think I needed to spend some kind of money, so I went and I saw what kind of books they had in there. Unfortunately, not a lot of horror, not a lot of darkness in there, a lot of romance and stuff, but I did manage to find a couple of books. So the two that I found were Lair by James Herbert. It's got a sticker there that says 75p, and this is so weird, the recommended retail price is £1.50, and it's one of those lovely little pocket paperbacks. I think this was printed in 1983, so nice little vintage one there. I'm not sure if I need to read Rats first because it said the rats have returned, so I might need to read that one. There's a fantastic hairdo on Mr. Herbert at the back as well. And the second one is Red Dragon by Thomas Harris, who of course is the writer of Sounds of the Lambs, which I love, and I think Red Dragon, in the movies at least, was a sequel and tells more about Hannibal Lecter in it, so definitely could be interesting. This one was recommended as $4.99, and I think it was printed in 1991, so good little sturdy, and they're actually really quite well kept. This one obviously has been read, but this one is like pretty good, almost pristine, so two good finds there. Next couple of books I bought, I had some money that I could have tried a little harder, but it couldn't be spent on things I needed, so I decided to spend it on books instead, because of course, why not? So the first one is, you may have seen it in the background of some of my videos, in one of the book boxes I got, I think it might have been Portable Magic book boxes, I got this cool postcard, and I just thought it was so interesting. And I'd heard of Charles Beaumont before, but I didn't know, hadn't read any of his writing before, but I like this postcard and it's got some really creepy imagery in it, so of course I went and I bought the actual book. So I guess I can use that as a bookmark. But it is Perchance to Dream Selected Stories, a foreword by Ray Bradbury and an afterword by William Shatner, which just it amused me. I wasn't expecting that, and there's a quote on the back by Dean Koontz as well, so just a lot of big names on this one. Next up is one that I saw. It's by an Irish writer. I think I saw it in relation to autistic characters, so obviously I'm very interested in that, and it was apparently shortlisted for an award. It is called Big Girl, Small Town by Michelle Gallen. I love that cool, very summery cover, to be fair. The part of the blurb at the back says, "Other people find Magella odd." It's a very Donegal name, Magella. "She keeps herself to herself. She doesn't like gossip and she isn't interested in knowing her neighbour's business. But suddenly, everyone in the small town in Northern Ireland where she grew up wants to know all about hers." So yeah, I think Magella in this may be on the spectrum somewhere, and I definitely want to read more characters like that. If you know of any books with autistic or neurodivergent characters, I definitely want to read more about that. I'd like to express that that part of myself in my own writing as well, but I'm hoping that this has some good old Irish humour in it, because we do like a bit of that. Next up is two non-fiction books actually. This one, I was a little disappointed. The cover that I really wanted was only in the hardback. It was a little bit more expensive, so I went with the conservative paperback, which is still kind of cool, but I'll put the hardback up here as well. It's called Entangled Life by Merlin Sheldrake. What a name that is. I also saw a post about him saying that he wanted, when the book came out, because it's about mushrooms and how they live as organisms, how fungi make our worlds, change our minds and shape our futures. He wanted to wet the pages and grow mushrooms out of it and then brew a beer or something out of it so that he could literally eat his own words, which I find quite amusing. And I'd love to do that myself, to be honest. So it's great. I've just seen it's got some pictures in there as well. I mentioned before I'm writing a novel about a tree, and it turns out that in the root systems of trees, fungi and mushrooms are just interconnected. You can't have a forest without fungi. So very interested to read about the weird and wonderful lives of this very strange organism. And the next one was following on from, I think in my last video I mentioned that I read Atomic Habits and I thought it was very good, and I think Priscilla might have recommended this and I immediately went and bought it. It is Do Nothing, Break Away from Overworking, Overdoing and Underliving by Celeste Headley. I'm quite impressed that I'm able to read this because I'm reading it backwards in the screen, so go me. This again, reading the back, it seems to go into a lot of different neuroscience and history and whatnot, and talks about the habits again and how most of the habits that we have are actually making us less productive and less happy, and the whole idea of productiveness and idleness and laziness, just sort of turning that on its head from what we have assumed so far. So I'm liking that. I'm definitely in a bit of a funk with myself at the minute and not entirely happy just with life, and I think most of us are feeling that way, but I definitely need a change, so I'm working towards that. And the last two little books that I have are just little notebooks that I bought. I've been going to here we call it TK Maxx, because my niece informed me that they're having Halloween stuff recently, and so on my lunch breaks I've been going and visiting I say, because I'm not spending money on Halloween stuff, just the books, but I find these two lovely little notebooks of puppies because they make me happy, and I got this cool planner for 2023, and in particular, you're not gonna focus, are you? Can't focus. In particular, I like this guy, this little emo guy at the bottom. He makes me happy. So it's a cool planner for the end of this year and next year. So those are the most recent books that I've got. I haven't actually bought books in a while, but I'm happy with these ones. I think I'm going to enjoy the non-fiction ones, whether it's the mind-changing ones or just the interesting plant-based ones. I'm still listening to the audiobook of the the trees one as well. I would definitely recommend that. It's actually called The Hidden Life of Trees, not The Secret Life of Trees like I mentioned before. But as I said at the start of the video, please let me know what kind of video you would like next, whether it's booktube related, writerly related, or a reading vlog of any of those authors. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I really appreciate it. Our time is very precious to us all at the minute, so thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.